Good to link up again and to connect.
Good
It's
to be
been a while.
here. It really has been a while.
For sure. Sweet brother. So you are a DJ turned photographer hailing from Diepkloof, Soweto.
Yes, that's
How,
me.
or maybe we can start with just a quick intro. How would you intro yourself? Who are you? Where are you from? What are you doing?
My name is Tshegofatso. I go by the name Harmonix on the streets. I'm a photographer, videographer, new to the videography world, but I'm extremely enjoying it. I was born in Soweto, Diepkloof, like you've mentioned. And what else? I used to DJ. I still DJ, funny enough. I decided to pick it up again, and it's helped me. It's helped me with my my mental state, if I can put it like that. Yeah, it's really helped me. So I've bought myself a little controller. I still play with my decks at home, connected, and play music. Yeah.
Cool, bro. And music, are you like performing or is it just for like your...
For now, it's for my personal sake, for my personal peace. I find that I still really enjoy this medium, and I just want to keep it alive within me.
That's very cool, bro. How do you feel like it helps you mentally? You mentioned that it's like a good outlet.
It's a good outlet. From time to time, I get anxious. I feel anxious, so whenever I'm feeling anxious, I turn to my music, play that. It helps me relax. It grounds me, almost like meditating.
Very cool. Very cool. Cool, man. Well, there's a lot I want to chat about. When was the first time you picked up a camera and you're like, cool, man, this is something I want to like pursue? Or, you know, when was the interest peaked? Because like you said, you started in music, and then how did that transition happen? How did you get into the photography side of things?
Funny enough, there's a director, Zolani Pagate. I made up with him during my DJ years, right? And fast forward, I met up with him and he was holding a camera. I was still a DJ at the time, but like I held this camera, I looked at it and I was like, man, this is nice. It was a Canon something. I can't remember exactly what it is. I looked at it and I was like, man, this looks so nice, you know? What do you do with this thing? It's like, I shoot photos and video, you know? And I was like, okay, cool. I see. Years passed. I picked up my first camera, but that was after shooting on my iPhone for a very long time. From iPhone 4, I moved up gradually, but I just kept shooting on my iPhone, you know, because I wasn't sure if I really wanted to buy a camera or not. And then bought my first camera. I think that was in, I can't remember the year, maybe 2015. It was a Nikon. Shot with that Nikon every weekend. We used to cycle every weekend. I used to take it out and I used to just take photos of the cyclists. It was fun. I enjoyed it, but it was on auto mode. Don't judge. we'll need to start somewhere.
100%.
You know? And then one of the guys that I was cycling with, I asked him, hey man, please teach me how to use this thing. Then he showed me, put it on manual, and he was like, okay, this is what you should do. This is how you expose.
Yes.
You know, read this light meter and now start shooting. It was a mess. It was a mess because now I needed to change my settings at every interval, pretty much, you know?
For sure.
But from there, I think that's when it really hit that I enjoy this thing, you know? And then I was still working at the time. And then 2018, I decided, you know what? Enough with corporate. I was very unhappy there. And I'm gonna do photography full time. Had no idea how I was going to start. But I picked up the phone and I called friends. I was like, hey, if you need a photographer for events or whatever, please let me know. I'm your guy. I'm quitting my job tomorrow, so I'm gonna need work soon. My friends were like, say less, we'll put you on. And
Crazy.
yeah, that's
Crazy.
how the career kicked off.
Would you describe yourself like if I hear that story, like it's a big risk to basically put the corporate thing on hold and just to jump straight away into, your own business of like owning your own photography business. Would you describe yourself as like risk averse, or like you don't mind taking on risk?
I feel like we take calculated risks, but that was a risk. It was a very big risk. Would I do it again? I don't know, because now I'm older, but I feel like if you're going to take risks, do them while you're still younger, when you don't have a lot of responsibilities. I'm married now. Things are different. The dynamics are different. When there's no work, you stress, so you know the feeling.
Yeah.
But it is a risk. But mine I felt like it was calculated, but it was a risk nonetheless.
Yeah.
Because I still didn't know if I was going to get the work or not.
For sure.
But yeah,
it's crazy, man.
You get the work and you move.
Crazy.
And you start, you have to be relevant somehow, you need to put out your work, you need to show people that you're doing this thing. So now it's the work and the social media management.
Sure.
Yeah, which is pretty tough.
Crazy. That's wild. And like, how did that transition look? So you make the decision, call up some mates, you're leaving your job, you're going full time into this photography thing. Like, practically, what did that look like over the next, couple of months? Like, what type of work were you shooting? How did you like figure out the business side of things? Like, now you want to charge for your work, or was it like doing a lot of, gigs for free just to try and get your name out there? Like, what was that transition like?
So luckily enough for me, I did the free gigs while I was working. So it didn't really like hurt my pocket. And then the events people that I reached out to, I had been doing like ad hoc work for them, like here and there. So they were paying me like something, but I wasn't charging like a freelance photographer would. I was charging like a guy that has a job. So it was just to supplement my salary. That's how I was charging. Until I started, I had to consult with a mate of mine and say, listen, what I then charge for work. And we sat down and we kind of like had to calculate like, what are your bills per month?
Yeah.
So if you do X amount of work, will you still be able to pay your bills?
Yeah.
So that was like the starting point, and I had to be like, okay, damn, this is different. I can't keep charging those prices.
For sure.
So obviously, fortunately, it was also like beginning of the year when I resigned, know, so I could really like up my prices and kind of like get myself out there.
Yeah, for sure.
So that helped.
Amazing, man. Amazing. That's very cool. And I know you shoot a lot on film now.
Yes.
How, like, before we even get to the film side of things, like, you started, obviously there was an interest. Like, when could you say there was like that love for like telling stories through imagery? Like, when did that start happening, when you're like, yo man, like I'm falling in love with this craft,
It was during our cycle years when I first picked up the Nikon, because during that period I was doing a lot of portraits, and I really still enjoy portraits.
Yeah.
And I think I neglected that for quite some time until my photography was a little bit more stable, and then I decided, you know what, I actually like the texture of film. Let me jump into that and see how it will go. And yeah, with the film stuff, I generally take like a lot of portraits. I do I've done a lot of portraits of my grandmother, which is pretty great, and yeah, people also, like some friends as well, I've taken portraits of like on film. But that's when I don't feel like I'm working, because every time I pick up a digital camera, it feels like I'm working, because you pick it up, put on your bag, and you're off to work.
For sure.
So I needed something to remove the work element, and then give it that pleasure again.
For sure.
That pleasure comes from
shooting on film. Great stuff. And like the key differences for you, obviously, there are the differences. Like you're saying, one feels like work, the other one feels like you're kind of having a break from the work side of
having
things.
fun.
There we go. What like, how would you describe to someone who's never shot on film, like the difference between digital and film? Like, what would be like the pros for you?
the unknown. It's the unknown. It's the surprise of seeing your picture for the first time. It's all those things, you know, like the chemical process of it. And I mean, since we last spoke, I'm now building a dark room. You know, I've got an enlarger. You know, I'm trying to agitate that paper so that I see that image pop up, you know. So
Very
those are
cool.
the things that I'm really enjoying about photography. With digital, it's not really for myself. It's more for the person that I'm shooting for. So I could shoot like 100 pictures for them and they'll be like, no, we like those 2 pictures. You know how the nature of the game. So with
100%.
film, you'll take a few pictures and you're very calculated with it because it's so expensive. You know, you're very calculated. You're more intentional with it as well. You know, it slows you down. All those good things.
100%.
So that helps. And you're also limited with the amounts of pictures that you can take on a roll of film.
No, exactly. I think that aspect of it slowing you down, I found like when I've shot on film, it almost feels like you are way more present versus digital. Digital, you almost like when you look at the stuff in post, you kind of relive the experience. Whereas film, I found like it forces you to be present in the moment, you know, it kind of has the opposite effect, which has been quite cool.
And you look at everything, you know,
yeah.
the composition doesn't end just here.
Definitely.
You look behind you, what's behind you, you know, all of those things.
For sure. Like you say, way more calculated. You're actually like building this image in your head before you even shot it. Whereas like digital can sometimes feel like you're just shooting what's there, you know. Oh, editor's worst nightmare.
Exactly.
100%. That's cool, man. Okay. In terms of your influences when it comes to photography, I know you've mentioned obviously you're branching out into the videography side of things, but still speaking, you know, to your photography because you've done that for a good couple of years already. Who do you draw inspiration from locally, internationally? Has there been people's work that you've seen that you're like, yo, man, I love how this person you know treats the craft of photography?
Excuse me. Platon is like one of my favorite photographers. I recently rewatched Finding Vivian Mayer. Inspirational story around her and her photography. Locally, my peers constantly inspire me.
For sure.
Know, the work that they do, the work that they put out, the work that they don't put out, but we get to see is really, really inspiring, you know.
100%.
The commercial work that's within the people that I'm, what's the word? That I can reach out to.
Yes.
You know,
For sure.
It's very important.
For sure.
And yeah, it's been inspirational to see the people that closest to you put out like great work.
That's awesome. Awesome. You want to mention a few?
Soweto, you yourself,
It's too kind.
Pumelelo, even the younger kids, man, like Ntlantla's work as well.
Really
Art Villain. People are really putting out like great
for
work.
Sure.
You
For
know,
sure.
whether they're shooting music videos or whatever, like there's little things that you can see that it's really like stepping up, you know. And it also pushes you as a creative to step it up.
Yeah.
You know, which is great.
100%. Yeah. It's good. It's good to see that people are, you know, pushing. Or like you said, to be surrounded by people who are not like just settling, like they're constantly working for more. Because it is, I think it brings out the best in everyone, you know.
Yeah, the growth is crazy here. Like, it's crazy.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. That's very cool, bro. That's very cool. Videography. When did you pick up the camera and decide, okay, cool, I'm going to venture into the other side of things?
Videography, I picked up my Canon 5D Mark II during lockdown. During lockdown, I had too much time on my hands and I just had to start recording something, you know. I was like, let me learn videography because now I need to be diverse as a creative. Gone are the days where I can just be a photographer. I need to be multifaceted, you know. So during lockdown, I picked up the camera. I learned how to edit by myself. YouTube helped, and then yeah, I shot on my action camera a lot, and you just practice editing because that's where it really comes, comes from. You have to practice.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good, yeah. And you said like, you wanted to become more multifaceted. What was kind of like the root as to why you felt that need?
COVID.
Apart from the curiosity. Okay, was it COVID?
It was COVID.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting like enough work, like
Sure.
so, and I could see like the people that were shooting both video and stills, like they were always busy.
100%.
So
yeah.
I also wanted to get work. My mental state at the time wasn't the greatest, I landed up in hospital just before lockdown.
Sure. Yeah.
So I didn't want to go back that route, and yeah.
And like, if we can, or if you're comfortable to speak a bit more about that, like, what was kind of the causes to, like you say, ending up in hospital, mental state not being good? Like, what drove you to that point, and then how did you?
It was the loss of work, really, because obviously I feel like a lot of creatives at the time before lockdown, we had a pipeline of work, had a pipeline of work, and it starts with a message. Sorry, we're going to postpone this event. Okay, cool. Email. Client has decided to cancel this thing, different thing, and so forth and so forth. So like, the stress now was getting to me, and I just felt myself taking a dip. I had bad migraines at the time.
Sure.
I couldn't handle it, and I checked myself into hospital, and they had to keep me in there.
Sure, crazy, man.
The only reason I left the hospital was because COVID patients were coming to the hospital. So I was like, you know what, I can't be here.
Yeah, crazy.
I'm better off at home,
Sure.
And slowly I got better at home,
And like how? Because like obviously now we're still in a stage there, or we were in that time where like work was few and far between. So like kind of what did you do practically, or what did it look like to get to a place where you're like, cool, I'm in a better mental state now to like deal with this pressure and stress that comes with, the uncertainty of owning your own business,
The pressure was still there.
Yeah.
But I had to learn to calm myself down, because there was a lot that I couldn't control.
For sure.
So I had to learn to calm myself down, meditate, did a little bit of yoga as well. That helped.
Sure. Okay.
So just slowing down the racing in my head helped.
Yes. Okay, very cool. I found like one of the biggest things for me this year, which has been like a constant struggle and a fight to get right, but it's just like the daily practices, because I'm like a big picture thinker. So like I've challenged myself to be like, cool, what can I do practically that is going to help me cope with like stress and, anxieties and fears and all these things that we get bombarded with, specifically as a creative, in our industry. And like the daily things of like, waking up a certain time, getting in a training session. For me, like, I believe in God, so like spending some time in like scripture and stuff. It's like all imperative to make sure that my day and like then the weeks and the months and, eventually the years, it's like, I feel like it's a compounding effect, as opposed to like, trying to deal with the entire thing, like breaking it down and simplifying, like, cool, this is what I do daily, non-negotiable, and this is like helping me cope, through all these things. So it's interesting.
Yeah, and you need to have those. You need to have those. You need to build resilience here first.
Definite, bro.
So your spiritual side needs to come first, and then everything else will follow.
Definite, bro.
Whatever you do in the morning is the most important thing.
Yeah.
It sets the tone for the day.
Exactly.
Even if you come across a frustrating client, you keep your cool. 100%. You're able to keep your cool.
Yeah, for sure.
And keep it moving.
Definite, bro. Definite. Ultimate success. What would that look like for you, bro? Very ambiguous question, but try like, pertaining to, say, photography. Yeah, what would that look like?
Ultimate success. Working 3 times a month.
and still making bank.
Gang.
That's tough, bro. But is there any like particular type of work you'd want to do? Like, what would those 3 times a month look like?
Anything from a corporate shoot, shooting a commercial, directing something.
Very dope.
Yeah.
Very dope. Directing in motion, stills, motion. Okay, cool.
I did
Very
a little
cool.
bit of directing on a recent project.
Nice.
So I really enjoyed the telling of the story of that project.
Very cool.
Yeah, so
very cool. So
I'm
something
finding that
you wanna
it's something that I wanna hone and nurture.
100%. Okay, that's super cool. So
I
3
feel like
times
as a
month.
videographer, you're a director already.
Definite, man. Definite. You're already thinking. Yeah, you're already thinking from that perspective.
You're
bro,
a
so
lot
it
of
is helpful.
things. As a content creator, you're a lot of things.
Exactly. What has been your best body of work that you've put out, according to you, not according to other people's opinions? Like for you, what have you enjoyed putting out the most up until this point?
It was the work that I shot for Glencore, a campaign called Armor Yourself. We made the finalists of 4 lorries.
Amazing. Incredible.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
Yeah.
putting that together.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
with the PR team.
Amazing.
That was amazing.
And that's cool as well, because I mean, you've got the enjoyment of actually doing the work, and then the fact where other people recognize it as like, this is great work.
Yeah.
It's like that double confirmation of like, yo, man, this was
You're on the
really
right
good.
step, you know.
100%, man. Yeah,
You're
for other
moving the
people
right way.
Yeah. Affirm the creative that went behind that. That's very cool.
Because a lot of the times as creatives, we wonder if we're doing the right thing, yeah. You know,
Definitely.
yes, the client loves it, but you look at it and you're like, I don't know, man. I really don't know.
100%.
But then you get other people that say, that's really good. You know, that's really good.
Exactly. It is helpful. Do you have people in like your inner circle who like can encourage you in that? I know for myself, like I've constantly like doubt work that I'm doing or work that I'm putting out, but there's like a few key people that will kind of put me on the not enough. I think that's been a challenge, like wrestling with that thing of like, it's not perfect, but it's progress, and like accepting that, like, you know, like I said, I think of the bigger picture. So if it doesn't quite look like that, I battle accepting like the steps to get to that point. So yeah, so that's been one aspect. But then also what's been helpful is, like I say, having key people around that have been like, no man, like I can see that's really good.
Yeah.
But a little bit more objective. Do you have that for yourself?
I do have that, but I have to share the work with them for them to actually say,
For sure.
oh, this is
Okay.
great, or this is nonsense.
Yeah, to allow like
Yeah.
them in.
Yeah. But I feel like my clients as well, the clients that I have currently, they will say if they don't like something, which I really appreciate. Nothing
For sure.
worse than a client that says, oh, that's nice, but, you know, but like my clients say, yo, I don't like this. Can you please change this and this and this? I'm like, oh, hectic. I like that, you know?
For sure.
The older me would have taken offense to that. But like now that I'm getting older, I find that it actually makes my work a lot easier if you say you don't like something. Because
100%.
moving forward, I'm able to remember, oh, they didn't like this kind of angle. Let me give
Yeah.
it this a different way, you know? And it helps, you know, it helps.
sure.
Yeah,
And-
it helps the relationship as well.
Definite, man. I think that's like the challenging thing, to like remove yourself, because you might, like you mentioned, you like that part, and now the client is saying they don't like it. Like you said, there's room there to take offense, because you're like, and this is like, I love this part. But then, like you said, the wisdom to actually take a step back and say, hey, like I'm doing work for the client. So, you know,
Yeah.
like regardless of what I feel about it, you know, my job is to serve them and to serve their vision. So, I mean, that's brilliant, bro. That's a great piece of advice.
Because I mean, like recently, I did a video as well, and we had someone that's not a voiceover artist do a voiceover, and I complained. I was like, "Yo, this is not gonna work. I don't know. There's so many mistakes on this thing, you know." And they were like, "No, put it on the video. Let's see." I was like, man, edited the whole thing.
Yeah.
Watched it, re-edited, and then sent it. and they said, "This is perfect."
Crazy, bro. It's like part of you is like dying, but the other part is like,
what do
hey,
you mean
I'm cool.
it's perfect? Like, what do you mean it's perfect? You know? But then again, you need to remember, it's not for you. It's for the client. I mean, you can always do a different edit for yourself, you know, and then you can have something that you're happy with for you.
For sure.
You know, but the work that you submit, you're submitting it to the person that's paying you.
Very much so, bro. I know we dialing back a little bit, but as I'm remembering things, I'm gonna jump in.
No problem.
But in terms of, so you're obviously creative, bro. You've experimented with music, with stills. You've picked up videography. You've got into film. Like your mind sounds like very curious and creative, and I think you enjoy like that process of discovering like a new medium to express yourself in. How did you grow up? Like, was that something that was kind of cultivated and formed in you? You know, the fact that you even got into music, like, were you always just drawn to like creative things? Was it something you discovered like later on in life? What did that look like for you, like taking into consideration your upbringing?
I think it's something that both the music and the photography, it's something that I found by myself. Just seeing what's out there. I think the people around me generally were doing like creative work, especially like in high school.
Yeah.
One of my friends' parents were actually artists.
Incredible.
And do like sleepovers, and I think through that process, like the sleepovers and the friendship, like I saw a different way of living. And I was like, oh man, that's nice. I actually enjoy drawing. Maybe I can do that as a living. But my parents were like, no, never, you know?
Yeah.
You need to make money. And you can't make money with paintings and all of that, you know? But I think it's also like a different way of thinking that they had. But like, it was only like later on where I started to be more curious, and I started to venture out and try the things that I really enjoyed, you know, like the sketching. And then from sketching, it was the pictures. I can't afford a camera, so what am I gonna do? I'm gonna use what's in my pocket, the phone, you know. Take the phone pictures, put it up on Instagram, heavily filtered, you know. So we start there. And
it's good.
I feel like if you start there and you're still doing those things, it helps, you know, to see if it's something that you wanna pursue.
100%. That's really good. That's really good. Cool, bro. I think we've covered a lot. I think maybe we can speak a bit about not the biggest lesson you've learned, but maybe something that's like top of mind now that you'd want to share to like someone who's just starting out, like as a photographer or a videographer. I mean, there's so many aspects you can share from, but like, what's one like standout, or even a few? Like, do you have some comments? Like, what would you share with them?
I think the most important thing for myself is the process. The process is super important, more than the end result, because through the process you learn different versions of yourself. And you're constantly evolving, and you're constantly going to make mistakes. You're constantly going to get up and make more mistakes and get up. But the fact is, keep getting up, keep making mistakes, but new mistakes, and enjoy the process. You know, don't try to jump from beginner to advanced. It never works out.
It's good.
You know, always take it step by step.
For sure.
And take advice. Learn to take advice. Yeah.
100%, man. Do you have any like one that's younger than you that you are kind of like pouring into, or not necessarily even like as intentional as like meeting up with this person to, you know, give them input, but just are you like, do you see yourself as like a mentor in that, you know, in that regard?
Not a mentor, but like I share my knowledge with whoever's willing to listen.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nothing
worse than sharing your knowledge and the person just wants to jump from novice to advanced. You know,
100%,
he's just pouring into an empty cup.
Yeah.
You're not really helping them because
Definitely.
they're not taking in those fundamentals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, for sure.
And the fundamentals are everything.
100%, yeah. I think it's the right mindset if you are wanting to learn and grow. But yeah, I think we need more people in our industry that are kind of availing themselves to like guys coming up to share that knowledge, because I think
because I'm willing to take on someone and teach them what I know.
Definitely.
Like my cousin's also like stepping up in the game, but like I'm also like telling him step by step. Whenever he's got a question, he comes to me. I say, my door's always open for you.
Amazing. Yeah.
And some of the kids as well, they can DM me and I respond wherever I can.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But also my email is there. Use the email.
For sure. That's good, man. That's good. Yo, I think it's imperative.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Last questions, yeah. There was one I wanted to, maybe as like the industry as a whole, like what are you wanting to see more of
in the industry? More people shooting commercials.
That's cool.
More people, because currently it's the same individuals. So we need more people shooting commercials, shooting the high-end stuff.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Give people an opportunity to showcase themselves, showcase what they can do.
Definitely, man.
Yeah, because we're all talented. I'm just finding that the current industry, we just have the same people doing the high-end, high-paying work.
100%. 100%.
I know you can do it.
That's one of the things we've like really pushed for, which has been very difficult because like I started however many years back, like not in the industry. So it's kind of, I had to network and build relationships as I went along. But still I'm finding that, like you're mentioning, for those, the higher end work, very much it's who you know, and if you're not in those right connections, or if you don't have the right connections, if you're not in the right circles, you don't get the work. And like you say, I mean, it's very hard to actually get opportunity for those jobs because, the agencies or the clients have their people, so
the agencies.
Yeah, the agencies.
The agencies.
Gatekeeping.
Yeah, they really are, I feel like we need to expose them more because agencies really do gatekeep. And they'll always say it's something like budget or whatever the case may be. But I find that the agencies charge the most money.
For sure.
For sure. For whatever reason, they get the most money. And it's unfair on us, They'll ask you to quote on work, you quote. And damn, you miss out on that work.
Exactly. Cool, that's good, bro. I think that's a very pertinent point, man. That's very good. Man, this one question keeps me back. I think of it as we're talking and then it slips my mind. It was just to end off as well. Oh yes. Any it's back. Yes. Anything up and coming like that you are working on that you stoked about, that you're excited about, that you want to share? Personal, actually, like for clients.
Personal.
Anything.
I'm trying to do a photo book.
Dope.
I'm trying to do a short documentary about my grandmother.
Amazing.
So those are the things I'm excited about currently.
Very
photo
cool.
book and
very cool. Your grandmother obviously meant a lot, bro.
Yeah. No, she means a lot. She's still around.
Is she still around?
She means a lot to me.
Incredible. What's like the relationship like there?
So, I lost my mom. And when she passed, I realized I didn't have a lot of pictures. I didn't have a lot of things.
Sure.
Where I can show, hey, this is my mom,
Yeah.
There's like a few pictures that I have of her.
Right.
And then I just wanted to change that with my grandmother, because I looked at her and I was like, man, I also don't have pictures of you.
Yeah.
I need to change that.
Yeah.
And over the years, I've just been taking pictures like on film, some digital.
Yeah.
But took quite a few pictures of her.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with the library that I have.
Amazing.
So I just need to put them together.
That's awesome, bro. Big up. Yeah, I think it's special, man. Like what you do, you like preserve memories in some sense. If I think of how I got into what I like, into photography at first, it was because of like photo albums and stuff that my parents had put together. And it's like, it's challenged me so much, like being a dad now with my kids. Like it's obviously a lot of effort and time and like intentionality. But like I want to, like you've taken on this thing for your grandmother. I want to create these memories for them that they can
Tangible
look back
memories.
at 100%, that they can see, oh, like this is where I come from, like this is what my childhood looked like. I feel like it's massive, man. It's a beautiful
Albums
thing that
are
you can
the best things ever. So nostalgic.
do. 100%, very much so.
I can go home and just open it and be like, oh, I remember this day. I remember that day. And funny enough, excuse me, the albums that I have, all those pictures were taken on film.
Beautiful, man.
All of them were just taken on film.
Beautiful, yeah.
We had photographers back in the day that would walk up and down.
Crazy.
And
yeah.
they would call them, come take a photo of us. And then a week later, they'll bring the photo, we pay them.
Amazing. Yeah.
And slowly the album grew. Yeah.
Super cool.
I mean,
Super
I've got a camera. You have a camera. We need to do those things for ourselves.
Man. Definitely, man. I think it's
keep
imperative.
Keep that. What's the word? We need to keep those memories alive, and they mustn't just end up on our cell phones or on a hard drive.
Definitely.
Yeah, no one's gonna see those things.
Exactly.
And you can lose those things like that.
For sure.
So let's select one or two here and there over the years.
Amazing.
80 pictures a year.
100%.
That's all you need to do an album.
Exactly. Okay, cool, man. I'm keen to see. You got to share it, bro. I got to see when it comes out.
Absolutely.
Cool. Where can we keep up to date with what you're doing and everything that's going on?
I'd love to say social media, but man, we don't post as much as we should. But I try to put stuff on my stories because the algorithm is trash. So it's Harmonix Ent on Instagram, Tshegofatso at harmonix.co.za. That's my email.
Amazing.
Yeah, harmonix.co.za website.
Cool. Beautiful, bro. Thanks for your time, man.
Thank you,
Appreciate
bro.
it.
Good to see you.
Likewise. Sweet.